Redditors who work at food banks, what is best to donate? What do you always need? I volunteer to food banks that also donate essential things that we always need, pads and tampons. We always lack those. And diapers. Both for babies and for older people. Also cleaning products. If they have a home, they need things to clean it, if only to feel better in it. When it comes to food, what we often lack is things that can be eaten cold or don't need preparation. Too many people live in their cars or in the street. They don't have access to pans, stove, microwaves, anything you'd find in a kitchen really. We could also do with more things for single people. Family size is great for families. But for people who are alone, it means that one soap and it will either go to waste or more likely have someone eat something that had gone bad. We do still need the usual food, family size things etc etc. But we ran out of what I have listed more often than other stuff. Yes, agreed. You also have to consider non-homeless single people. I was struggling, had to leave home at 17. I had a cheap room for rent, and I was underweight. I always appreciated real 2% milk which my food bank had a fridge for and carried. Also they gave me a pound of ground beef. I always appreciated getting fruits and vegetables, peanut butter, and yes, canned food, pasta. A range of people go there. So good to think of everyone. Also people need to donate cash in my city. People think the food bank is government run and supported, and it is not. The government wanted it set up and said it would be a temporary solution after the war I believe, and then they just never addressed the issue and left the food bank to deal on its own. So they need volunteers, great for high schoolers, and donations. They offer lunch at my local food bank also, and shelters in the city, again not gov run, feed the homeless multiple times a day. So if you can volunteer at your local soup kitchen / mission etc. and treat homeless people as human beings. If you don't wanna give them change, maybe just stop and talk to them for a couple minutes like they are a normal human being, because they are human beings. I saw a man in very cold weather without proper clothing. He was drunk and I was scared he would get frostbite. But I didn't wanna call cops because I have seen how they treat the homeless. They don't try and sober them up with water / fluids, food and rest. They leave them on a concrete bench freezing cold for hours till sober. We need to start lifting each other up in society and stop allowing politicians to divide us. We are only as strong as our weakest link. If through these amazing programs we can have people become able to participate and become capable members of society through healing, it will cost the government a lot less than constant incarceration, institutions etc. Sorry I went off topic. I personally run a book drive to provide vulnerable people and addicts with books. And also volunteer at my local community center, which is the only one left helping these people who are suffering. Treat people with compassion and you will gain from that interaction as well. If people want to know what local community centers need who are helping addicts, please DM me. They are not untreatable, and they deserve treatment. I hope everyone does what they can this holiday season. Also donating warm mitts, scarves, old winter coats, warm socks, old sweaters, cheap packs of clean underwear. Anyways, happy holidays. I wish this holiday spirit of kindness and coming together didn't only last through Christmas. Sorry for tangent again. In order of preference, cash, since the buying power of the food bank is greater than what you can give. Sometimes by a factor of 2 to 3. Hygiene items. Depending on what your regional food bank is, many of the regional ones only have food, so any type of hygiene items, especially feminine products, is a huge help. Paper and cleaning products, soap, laundry detergent. These are not often considered necessary items, but not having to pay for them frees up a lot of money for someone who is having a hard time. Your time. Most food banks have dedicated volunteers who are familiar with the processes and the people going to the food bank. If you are going to go once, do what you are told, and otherwise keep out of the way. Becoming a regular volunteer is better. Always cash. Think about it. Food banks can only store so many cans of green beans and cream corn. Yes, you're not the only person who does this. So at a certain point, they just start pitching your donations because they physically have no room in the storage areas, not on shelves, not in the fridges, not in the freezers, not on the numerous stacks on the floors, no room, period. Give cash. Also, please do not donate opened food items. A lot of places will just throw them away due to liability reasons. Also, if you are going to donate cans of food, dear God, please donate something more substantial than creamed corn and green beans. Donate things you would actually eat. I've run a food pantry for 5 years. Cash is king. Depending on the state your food pantry is located, they can get staple items relatively cheaply. When ordering for our pantry, we can get staple items incredibly cheap or even for free. Feminine hygiene products, tampons, pads, anything needed like that is incredibly important. Other cooking supplies, butter, olive oil, flour. Folks that use pantries cook, but don't always have these items. They're important, basic cooking tools. I'm the co-director of a volunteer-run food and hygiene pantry. We can't accept cash/checks ourselves, and the organization that handles monetary donations for us has a lot of hoops they like to put us through to use funds. That being said, if someone wants to do some sort of monetary donation, we always say Walmart gift cards. It's the closest major store and has everything we need. For actual items, we generally accept anything non-perishable, unopened, and within expiration, or at least not too expired, since we have a guide that tells us how long different food items are still good for past the printed date. I used to run a pop-up board game store, and for a couple years in a row, we did a game day at the local food bank. Instead of my normal admission, people were asked to donate cash or the following top needed items. This is right from an email I received from the food bank. Peanut butter, tuna, in water, canned fruit, in juice, beans, canned or dry, canned veggies, in low or no salt. Obligatory, I don't work at a food bank, but I was a vendor for one. Money for Feeding America, and affiliated food banks. For every $1 they can provide 10 meals. They are to stretch a dollar a lot further. Additionally, they can pay for things like transportation for truckloads of donated food, etc. Fresh produce and meat. However, this brings me to my next point. Warehouse space, especially refrigerated/frozen space, is very limited. I recommend calling and asking what they need. They could have just purchased 10 pallets of peanut butter yesterday and are all good, but desperately need canned tuna. Or maybe their freezer is full and can't accept any meat right now. Anything that isn't canned soup or canned vegetables. Seriously, we are constantly drowning in this stuff, and it isn't that popular with our customers. If you want to donate food, donate canned tuna or chicken, dry pasta/pasta sauce, rice/beans, or non-perishable snacks. That said, food is relatively easy to come by from very large donors like grocery stores or very large regional food banks. Instead, we prefer to get toiletry items like deodorant, shampoo, feminine products, etc. These items aren't as popular as food, but they're more difficult and expensive to procure. I stayed with my sister and she received food donations. The things that we were the most excited about were pads and tampons, toothpaste, soap, diapers, deodorant, toothbrushes, edit specifically body soap, hair soap, baby soap, dish soap, and detergent. Scent-free detergent for the babies and those with allergies, like me, is a godsend. Detergent is super expensive and a lot of people in poverty can't afford it, or steal it, and usually use the cheapest stuff, which is horrible if you're allergic. If you have water, you can wash in the bathtub and dry on a line, which is what we did. We also got bleach, which helped BC it's for laundry and cleaning house, toilet paper and baby wipes, powdered milk and powdered drink mix, coffee and tea, juice concentrate, formula, flour, sugar, rice, onions, potatoes, salt, spices, cooking oil, bouillon, pastry mixes that only need water, or water and oil, like complete pancake mix, complete muffin mix, eggs and actual milk, although rare, any kind of meat or fresh produce, which was extremely rare. The things that we were the least excited about were dried beans, veg oil, ramen, potted meat, We had no idea how to cook the beans, and this was before the internet. While we were grateful for all food, we got a lot of junk food like chicken nuggets, tater tots, fish sticks, stuff that is fried frozen food, which isn't the best thing to eat every day. Finally, something I can answer. Alright, keep in mind that anything you donate will be given out after the government food has been distributed. This is for liability purposes. After all, if someone gets sick off of government beans, they know who to blame, right? In the case out of our food pantry, we never seem to have enough canned chicken. Perhaps unsurprisingly, people get really goddamned sick of eating the canned pork. Additionally, nice side items like stuffing or mac and cheese go a long way. Rice and noodles are great, but in the case of our food bank, we get a ton of that every week from the farm share and TEFAP.